All right. Welcome, folks who are arriving. I'm going to change the settings in the chat. Here's what I ask that you do is at the bottom of the screen on your chat, change it from host and panelists to everyone, if you can. Actually, Liz, you have to do it. You're the host. I can't change it.
Oh, what
At
do
the
I
bottom
do?
of the screen, can you, next to host and panelists, or everyone, I should say, click on that triple dot on the right and then allow people to talk with everyone? You see
Post
that to
and
the right?
pin the triple dot. So I only see it in the participants.
Okay. No, you click on the chat option at the bottom.
Oh, uh-huh.
And then when the chat screen pops up, then
Everyone.
to the right of everyone, allow everyone to talk with everyone. So I can ask my big question.
Wow, everyone. Attendees can talk with everyone. Everyone can talk with everyone. Did I do it?
Yeah.
Anyone want to
So here's the
test
question.
it out?
Well, here's how we're gonna test out. So if you're watching right now, I have a question for you. In the last month, have you worked more than your average work month, the same or less? So more, less, or same? Okay, Chris, you're the winner. Fast response.
More.
Give me more.
Good job, Sandy.
The
Oh, wait, no.
samers don't respond
Jesus.
quickly because they don't have to.
Oh,
Now, some people respond to hosts and panelists. Just change that to everyone at the bottom of your screen so everyone can see it.
yeah.
So
In
our,
your
our
chat.
informal survey here, the majority have worked more. The same is the close runner up, and less is a couple people called the braggarts.
Braggarts.
You're here for a webinar. My name is Mike Michalowicz. I'm joined by Liz Szporn, who's somewhere on your screen. She's kind of famous through her daughter, who's been on TV recently as an
Yes.
athlete. So congratulations on your, I guess, association to fame.
Thank you. I'm adjacent. I'm famous adjacent.
Famous adjacent. That's the exact
Only
word.
if you have ESPN Plus. That's it. That's it.
But look it up with that last spelling of her last name. You can find
it.
her daughter playing sports. We're here to talk about growing a wildly successful CFO firm. My name is Mike Michalowicz. I'm the co-founder of Profit First Professionals. Liz is our lead guide here at Profit First Professionals, and we've garnered some insights. Our intention is over the next half hour to 45 minutes or so to give you some insights that we think you can deploy in your own business. We will invite you to consider Profit First Professionals membership if that's something you want. If not, that's cool too. We'd love to talk with you if that's of interest. And just want to deliver value. I ask you, turn off the distractions. I can't tell you how many people were on the event last time and then emailed me saying, "Where's the recording? I didn't catch it all." I'm like, oh, were you doing email and stuff? I get it. I get it. So let's move quickly. To kick things off, I want to talk about the industry and some of the challenges, particularly what's been happening in the last few months. So we work with bookkeepers and accountants and coaches. And there's this trajectory that starting January, the bookkeepers are pulling their hair out. By end of February, the accountants are pulling their hair out. And then by the end of April, the coaches start pulling their hair out. It's this constant kind of tsunami that rolls through. Get the books in order, submit the taxes. What the hell should I do with my business? Repeat it over and over and over again. And so that's why I was curious about this surge of demand. I wonder if the vocation of the business you're in is dictating a surge of demand on you. If you have less, if you've worked less, is that because the vocation or the industry you're in? Or maybe the business you systemized during the last few months and it's been triggering a decline. No matter what we've discovered is there's an unfair demand put on providers, professional services like accountants and bookkeepers and coaches. And tell me if you can relate to this. On a percentage basis, how often is your work influenced or delayed because the client isn't getting information to you that you need on a timely basis? So just on a percentage basis, post that in the chat. Make sure you're sharing with everyone. This is our informal survey system, so everyone can see. But what percentage of your clients are causing delays for you? Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus says 100%.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Sandy, 85%, 50%. This is really insightful.
Yep.
Of how much we're dependent upon our client completing work in order for us to be able to complete the entirety of our work. And it looks like the average is maybe 50%. Jesus is so frustrated, just says 100% Jesus, I'm done.
I know,
Yeah.
it's like, they all stink today.
They all
I'm
stink,
done. I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. So the fact, thanks, Jesus. The fact that we're seeing these numbers is, I just wanted to emphasize, this is normal, but doesn't need to be acceptable. So what can we do? And we'll talk about some ideas of how you can better, manage your clients. How many people here, just say you've experienced this in the last year, get a shoot the messenger response from your clients? Meaning tax season rolls around and you clean up some information for them and you find a problem, or you're their accountant and you crunch some numbers and now they have a tax liability. How many people get a shoot the messenger where the client gets upset with you? Like they think you are the problem. The response is, been there, done that, or live in that, or whatever. How often do you, or not even how often, but do you experience that? Do you ever get shoot the messenger? So Jeff gets that. Sandy does not. Suzanne gets that. Jesus sometimes. Yeah, hopefully you're shooting the messenger back to them, Jesus, by saying, you don't get your stuff to me on time. You're the frustration. Yeah, what we find with our members is quite a few get to shoot the messenger unfairly, but it is human nature. It's interesting. Suzanne isn't experiencing it. And Suzanne, I'd love to get your feedback, maybe in the chat. Why aren't you getting that? Are you proactively working with your clients, giving them guidance on what's coming and when there's a problem, that you simply are the one who availed that this is a problem, or made them aware of it, and now you're helping them navigate it? There's ways to address that. Here's the two big ones, and you can respond in the chat or you can just think about it. If you are waiting for your clients to get information to you, if you are working more or less, and it doesn't have to be all of these, but just one of these, you're waiting for your clients, you're working more, you're getting the shoot the messenger. If that is taking some of your time or causing distraction, do you think you might be losing out by focusing on those things on opportunities with other clients or new clients? You don't have to answer that. Just think about that. What we find is that a lot of our members who come on board are leaving substantial amounts of money on the table, sometimes up to a 4x, like 400% revenue increases by focusing on high value clients. I'm not saying your clients are of value, but higher needs translate to higher value clients, and are able to address them. I would say the average is a 20 to 30% no-brainer increase in revenue by targeting the higher value opportunities within existing clients, and then up to a 4x, and I've seen even beyond that return when just concentrating on higher value clients. That's what we're here to talk about today. So if that resonates with you and tips in this area would help, put a yes. If you feel these tips and stuff won't help you, you can put a no in, and you can drop right now, because it's what we'll be tackling. So let me formally introduce Liz. I'm just pointing up because on my screen she's up, but wherever she's on your screen, Liz is our lead guide and has helped hundreds of accountants, bookkeepers, and coaches, ABCs, through the Profit First experience, but specifically in leveraging CFO-like services to drive the business to higher revenue opportunities, to mitigate some of that panicky stuff that happens on a seasonal basis, to reduce the shoot the messenger and actually flip it to an advisory position where it's a thank the messenger scenario. And we want you to just go through these tips with Liz right now. So Liz, I'm going to transfer to you in a second. I just want to tell everyone I'm staying. I'm going to be in the chat. So you're going to see me looking over the screen. You're going to see me taking notes and stuff. That's what I'm doing, but I'm staying with you throughout this entire thing. All right, Liz, the floor is officially yours now.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Michael. And I love calling you Michael. I don't know if you noticed that I don't ever call you Mike.
I know, I didn't. There's two people call me Michael. You and my wife when she's really pissed. I swear to God, it's the truth. Yeah.
I can't help it. You, Michael and Ronald.
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Both of you are.
I like it.
Anyway, hello, everybody. And thank you for being here. And thank you for investing in yourself for just about an hour to learn a bit about some of the things that we do that help our clients become far more profitable by using CFO services. Oftentimes, especially right now, we're in the season of reacting to clients. We're in the season of chasing and almost begging. And then you're in the season of hoping that your own team won't quit. I had a call last week with a member who was like, I just lost my big guy. He's gone. He just couldn't handle it. It was a really rough January with 1099s and all the things, and we were chasing, and our responding or lack of responding to our clients leads us to maybe lose a team member in a really crucial time. And so, there are a lot of things that our members are looking to do that we know, and now they know, can increase profitability and increase their ease during this time. So when we talk about what we do here, we're helping our firms to bring advisory to life in their business in a bigger, bolder way. And so oftentimes we start with what happens if you don't? What happens if you don't move to advisory more robustly, intensely? Many times we spend a lot of time talking with people and we're giving this away. So Mike used that line of leaving money on the table. I was talking with a member this morning in office hours, and she was sharing how her willingness to help just bit her in the butt as she read an email from a client who said, I can't believe you want to raise rates. Show me what you're doing. And she's like, I had to look at the list of things that I never charged her for, that I just gave away for free. And she goes, it makes me sick to my stomach. And I know she's not alone in that. And so thinking of what can you afford not to bring this to the table? You are probably losing some of the higher value clients who see you as maybe just a bookkeeper, just an accountant, even though we know they don't really know what that means. They don't see you as offering these advisory services.
You got 10,000%er from Dottie, by the way.
Oh, yep. Dottie's like, yep. I'm looking at you, Dottie. I knew it. I knew you were coming today. I knew that was you. And then the clients that you actually know will value you and will really appreciate the strategic advisory that you have to offer. They may not see you in that way yet. You're blending in with the competition, right? I mean, if you want some spooky stories, we have the AI spooky stories of taking over bookkeeping. We know this is a real thing, but we also know it doesn't have to be. Right. So we know that AI will never overtake our relationships. It just won't. And especially now, right? Not yet. I should never say never, but you're blending in. You look like other bookkeeping firms. And if people are just wanting to price shop, that's all they're going to do. And you may not even show up on their Google list. You're missing out on, other pieces of professional development. So many of you have probably been in this for a while and not bringing advisory in. You're probably stale with what you're doing. I mean, how many times have you said, I can't believe I still do this? We want you to level up too. And so putting yourself forward, offering advisory in a more strategic way allows you to up your skills, to learn more things, whether it's about AI or just advisory services. So it also is a part of why you may not be able to scale while you're still trading money for time. And all of the folks that we're working with, these are the things that we're trying to tackle with them. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about what our CFO system looks like and what we're doing. To be honest, what we do with Profit First as the foundation, thank you, Michael, for this book that probably everyone here has read or at least knows of, as well as all the other books, the new ones coming out. I can't wait. I think it's still a secret.
Maybe in the chat, if you've read Profit First, or you're aware of at least, just put that in the chat, because I think there'll be some context to that in a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. Dottie's read it. Yes. Sandy. Yep. Oh, I love the, oh yeah.
Cool.
It's on the shelf. Nice, Tracy. Well
Good.
done. Great. Okay, good. So you have the framework, right? And there was something about that is resonating enough to bring you to here today. You know that maybe it's changed your business fundamentally. You know that those concepts were so impactful and so simple that you were able to say, oh my gosh, you've paid off a huge chunk of debt. You were able to hire other people. You are now feeling more in control over your finances, as opposed, just like the book says, you turned your business into a cash eating monster and now it's a money-making machine. And we know those stories every day. We get them, we hear them every day. They still give me goosebumps. I know they give Mike goosebumps too. Thank you for doing it on your behalf and your family's behalf. Thank you. But what we're in the business of doing and what our members are looking to do is to transform businesses. We really want to transform and help people transform what's happening in their business, to go from feeling overwhelmed, overstressed, overburdened, and just almost burnt out, to feeling valued, to getting paid well for what they're doing, and really being of service and of impact. I have not met a person in this space yet who doesn't have a servant's heart. They're in this because they love small business. They love, even, if you're just doing personal tax returns, you love the fact that you've taken that burden off of somebody's shoulders. It's scary. We don't know what we're doing. And I say we because I am not an accountant or a bookkeeper. But I love that you all have this heart of service. Being able to impact clients is really what gets most of us up in the morning. And I want to, and we are in the business of helping people to do all of that without spending any more of their precious time, to be able to find a better, more serviceable way to do this at scale when you're ready to do that. Train your team when you're ready for them to take over from you. That's what the CFO services allow you to do. So what are some of the services? I wanted to show you one of the documents that we use with our members, and it's called the CFO Playbook. And a lot of these things you may say, yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that. And then I say, how do you share that with your clients? How do you get paid for that? How does that live within your current services? And the answer to most people when they get here is that it isn't a separate cost. It isn't a separate thing. I just do it off the cuff when needed, as needed, things like that. The services that we're looking at, yes, they're going to provide financial clarity. That's the game. If I could boil down the concepts of Profit First, it is financial clarity to make better intentional decisions. That's what we're in the business of doing. People come in blind, or they just say, I don't want to look at it. It's too scary. They need to look at it. The power of a profit and loss statement, a balance sheet, and a statement of cash flows. This. Most people don't know how to use them and read them. And you may say, I want to show you how to do that. That's the CFO service, for the record, helping and educating your clients on how to read these huge indicators and wealth of information that live in those reports. That's a service. You're going to help them put guardrails on their finances. You're going to help them to achieve the goals that they say they want. What do you want to increase and decrease and create in your business? CFO services are that. And again, I will show you in a second, but you're helping them to put the guardrails on. You're helping them to implement this behaviorally based cash management system efficiently and effectively. Because one of the things we do with members, and you may have already done for yourself, is we force your hand and ensure that it's rocking and rolling in your business. So you are extremely profitable. You have broken down barriers, and you are able to help them manage the pitfalls that may exist when you're trying to leverage any new behavior. And then we're going to be talking about some goals and tracking and things like that. So I'm going to share. These are the services. And again, I want you to look at this playbook. I want you to look at this playbook, and I hope that you're able to say, yep, I do that. Yep, I do that. And then I want you to also say, yep, I charge for that, or nope, I don't.
And I don't know if it's possible for you to zoom in a little bit more on your screen. Yeah, that'll help.
Where is it? There it is. Better?
Yeah, a couple more clicks, okay. Maybe one more click even, but that's so much better, at least for my, yeah. I know it's not all on one screen, but maybe you can scroll through it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, good. All right. So these are the types of services that folks who are peeling out and really making more intentional CFO and advisory do. These are the things that we're, implementing with our members and helping them to bring to life in their business. So financial performance reviews. Many of you may do this. You may do this once a year. You may do it right at the beginning. But what this really is you're looking at what they've done in the last 12 years and helping them to move forward with it. What we get to do is show you how to have these strategic conversations more intentionally. We're helping our members, and this is something you should be doing. We want to have a regular clip that you have this conversation. This is not a set it and forget it. It's much more effective if you're touching base on it every quarter. So we have templates and tools for, really making this a quarterly event and part of the regular services that you provide with your client.
Here's a challenge for our guests, by the way. We have a full room, like it's a packed virtual room right now. So in the chat, make sure you're active. Of these services, as Liz goes through it, if you think you can add it in to what you do, just put, I
Mm.
can add that, just so we know. Or if you already do all this, you can put that in there too. But what we're really looking for is opportunities here. So the fact that you're doing everything, then congratulations, we got to get to the higher level with what you're doing. But if you're not doing these things, this could be an opportunity. So I'd love to see, I can add that and specify it, because then you'll start seeing how these things add up as opportunities for you.
Yep. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Liz.
The next one that we talk about, and I won't go through all of these, but I'm going to go through some of the ones that are the most, that again are so, we don't treat them as maybe an SEO or a CFO service the way that we should. Goal setting with your clients is not normal. That is not something that all accounting and bookkeeping firms do. They just don't. Many people say, I'm just going to take your numbers. It doesn't really matter to me. Good luck, right? If you are having goal setting conversations, or if you can say, I can see how I could add that in there, the benefit and the impact that it will have on your clients immediately, it's visceral. You watch their shoulders go down. You watch them say, no one's ever asked me that. I've never had an accountant or a bookkeeper ask me that question. Or maybe they asked it and flip it away, like, well, what do you want to do in the next 12 months? And then they say, cool, and never talk about it again. Using and creating high-level financial goals for their business with them, listening to them when you ask questions like, what do you want to increase and decrease and create in the next 12 months? What is the desired outcome that you have for your business? That's a huge question and something that is of such value and impact to your clients. I hope if you do that, you understand how powerful it is. And if you don't, I hope you can find a way to add it in there. Because what we get to do is we get to start using the profit assessment, right? So we are using that financial review, that profit assessment that we get from showing them how to implement profit first. And we're getting them using the target allocating percentages. We're going to show them how we make that real. Here's where you are. Here's where you want to go. Let me show you how we can get there. That's
Great.
huge. Yeah.
Tracy shared something. It's just so, thank you for being so honest and integral. Basically, I do a lot of these things she said, but it's not detailed in the scope of services, therefore not being charged. Oy vey. And if you take nothing else away from this webinar for all of us here, even if you're doing these things, if you're not specifying it, detailing it, and not charging for it, it's not only are you losing money, but you're not serving the client, because the client sees it as valueless. When they see a value associated with it, when they have to make an investment, they're vested in the outcome. So be sure you break these out. So Liz is sharing, we have certain tools with Profit First Professionals that will put this stuff on steroids. That's in the right column. But Tracy, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. As Mike said, you can see the ones on the far right are resources, and at the bottom of the sheet, we have the links to all that, so members can easily access this and get all the resources that they need. But
Patrick shared, could you just condense the screen a little bit? I screwed that up because you have to scroll around.
Mike.
So I think some folks want to take screenshots, and I ruined it. There you go.
There you go. Now you can take your screenshots. That's
my fault, Patrick.
Right. And so then another one that sort of goes along with the goal setting are the key metrics and performance indicators. Again, you know how to help them get there. You don't have to be a CFO, quote unquote, to do that. These services are things that you do without blinking, that I know that you do in your own business. You are sharing what you do in your own business with your clients. You are having a conversation that says, you told me what your goal is. Now, let's look at the things that would be the most important to note, to track, to pay attention to as we're working there. This conversation, again, it's an explosive conversation because they then want to learn more about how to read their financial statements. They meet with you every month or every quarter or however you want to do this. And you're able to say, we always have something to talk about. We're always working towards this goal together. That's sticky. That's how AI can't win, because you are setting with them these goals and this attachment to say, hey, I'm with you, sister. I'm with you. I am your accountability partner. You told me this is what you want. I'm going to build you a simple little dashboard, and we're going to check on it every single month. It doesn't take a huge amount of time, but it's a huge amount of impact and value for your clients. These are things that, again, many of you are doing, and maybe you're doing it in a way that you wish your clients cared more. That's another question for another day. That's another thing, but you can help them use this data, use this information more. So again, we have like reassessments and breaks. We have the ECROP, which is an evaluation, conversion, and rollout plan. that allows you to build that path together to help them get there. You know, the quarterly KPI review, going back, whether it's you start with expenses and they say, you know, that their expenses are exploding and their runway in this business is shortening every month. You can show them that and say, here are the things that I want to track. If we could decrease your expenses by 6%, it's $10,000 in the next 90 days. Do you know the impact that that would have on your business? Now they have something they can work toward, right? You're giving them very strategic, implementable things that you then get to follow up on in 90 days and say you did it and celebrate, right? So those are, you know, a couple other examples. Some of the other things that we look at, the profit improvement strategies, obviously our members are using Profit First as the foundation for all of this. So we get to keep going back to that. And we have a million different strategies of how to bring Profit First to life efficiently and effectively in a business. Budgeting and financial planning, you know, looking beyond that. Many people have cash flow strategies or forecasting and budgeting strategies. If you're just throwing those at them for free as a nice to, that's a CFO level service. Having those conversations about forecasting and budgeting and helping them see the future is huge. Some of the other things that our members do, and many because they do more than, in our world, more than just Profit First, they may be pumpkin plan specialists or clockwork specialists, and they're bringing something else to life with their business. So being able to work and train your team, help them with technology, those are all the services that CFOs do. And whether you're a fractional CFO, whether you just want to say you offer advisory services, all of these are things that we go in depth and help our members to learn and to achieve, and that we already have templates and tools and calculators and things. So for those of you who love to create and play in Canva and Excel and go nuts, lucky you. Those of you that don't, lucky you too. So that's one thing. The other piece of being able to really offer these types of services is, how do you start talking about it? And so that's a second, you know, scary thing. So I just wanted to show you well,
before you jump into that, can you go back to there? I want to share
sure.
something. So these are notes, not from what you're just sharing, but this was yesterday, Liz.
Yes.
I was in a mastermind of about 30 business owners that are addressing the shifts that are going on in our economy right now. So the opening conversation point was this. The facilitator said that most business owners are asked what will change in the next 10 years and are trying to address that. And he says the better question is what won't change in the next 10 years.
Nice.
And that triggered the whole conversation. So I just want to make some notes because it's so in line with what you said. One is thing is that listening will go away in the next 10 years. We need to be listened to. Empathy and the human tactile experience won't go away. One thing that won't change is people don't like change. My favorite was about trust, that the most important asset we will have is now trust. And what's interesting, if you think about AI and its rise of all these amazing things it can do, I wonder, ask yourself, and maybe you can even post in the chat, do you really trust it? I'm not saying you don't trust the output. Maybe you don't even trust that. Do you trust what it's doing with the input, what you're giving to it, compared to the services that you provide? When your client works with you, it's an intimate human connection. The trust transfers through the experience itself. Do you think, honestly, maybe put this in that chat too, that your clients will see you as much more trustworthy or an AI system as more trustworthy? Think about that. All these tools that Liz is presenting to you is levered upon what probably won't go away in the next 10 years, which is the need for human trust. Wanted to share that.
Thank you. I love that. Yeah. So I love that question though. What won't change? That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to noodle that at the table tonight. I'm going to have
noodle it.
Torture my kids at the table.
I have all the answers. I wrote all of them here. If you don't answer these correctly, I can tell you that you're wrong. Someone said aging won't change. And I said, I don't know. They may be.
Oh, I don't know either. Oh, please. I mean,
humans' search for meaning and purpose won't change. Human discontent won't change.
The desire for human flourishing, right? That's the
true,
transformational economy. Yep.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to share is, you know, thinking of offering these services is one thing. You're like, cool, I can do that. And then how do we talk about it? And so being able to have some tools and some resources that you can use, and this is again what we share with our members, is being able to then check off. It's almost like we call this the marketing playbook. Check off all the things that people need to see to feel comfortable to utilize your advisory services. So you have to change your website and changing your copy and change. These are all the things that we have to make it easier for people when they're ready to step forward with more advisory and use the halo for here of Profit First. But we have how to share your difference, how to share your unique service proposition. How do you do that? These are conversations that you need to have with somebody if you're going to, pivot from being seen as just a bookkeeper into more of an advisor. And then do you have one sheets, or do you have customizable documents that you can use to share with your future clients or your current clients about what makes you different than a normal bookkeeping and consulting firm? So the other thing that I wanted to share just really quickly, if any of this resonates with you all, just to share how we do this here at Profit First, because it's not normal. Nothing about Mike or Ron or any of what we do is normal. Sorry, you're not. You're sort of a weirdo in the best way.
Weirdo.
But people are always asked, like, how do we know what the benefits are? What that's great. You have all these tools, and I can just start adding the tools together. But is that all? What we do here is it's a 1, 2, 3 punch. Really, is we have the resources. Obviously, you just saw them. We have a plethora of resources. But we have the one-on-one guiding. Every member has their own version of me, right? So we have Erin, Angie, Liz, Jess, Billy Ann. We're all here for all of our members. And so we work one-on-one with our members, and we're on this together. We're a part of an accountability group with you. We are pushing you forward. We are calling you out when necessary. We are celebrating your wins, all of those things. That matters. The reason we do this way is we want you to see how it can be done for your clients. Everything that we do is an example of what you could do. And it is the most flattering, my favorite thing of all, when somebody says, I used the line that you said the other day with my client. That's all I ever want, is for whatever we're doing here to go back to your clients. That's why we're here. We're on a mission to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. And the way that we get to achieve our mission is by you all changing the lives of your clients. So that's the first one-on-one guiding. We have a community, or sorry, that was the resources and the guiding. And the third one is this community. So those of you that are here, you're also not normal, no offense, in the best way, because you're putting yourself forward. You want to do more, serve more for your clients, but also you want to do better for yourself and your family. You want to feel more impactful and of more value. You want to weather the next storm that's coming. And so everyone here in the Profit First community, that's what they're here for too. There is so much sharing, and with a baseline belief of a rising tide lifts all ships. So I was just in a meeting right before this, and somebody shared their entire pricing strategy with the others in the group. No problem, no worries. They share campaigns, they share emails, they share templates. We share with everything. So this community is another huge asset, and something that allows you to move forward faster because they become a part of your extended accountability group. We also have live calls and all of those things. But those are, our mission is for you all to add more advisory. And we know that the way to have a very profitable CFO firm is doing, things like this first. So really, taking it forward, being intentional with what you're doing, and then building some services around it. So
I want to share a thought, and maybe Liz, I don't have access to the chat, just how we started this meeting. So maybe you can share the link to Profit First Professionals in there. And I invite folks, just check it out and see if you're fit, because we are actively seeking Profit First Professionals. If what we share with you resonates with you, but if our style resonates with you, that's the big thing. We are not looking to be the biggest organization just by adding numbers. We're looking to be the greatest organization by adding folks who care and that we complement each other. In fact, and this is a story I want to tell you. I was meeting with membership organizations, and every organization put forth the structure of the organization. And we said, well, we individually guide people. We of course leverage technology, but it is person to person. And that was we were the most criticized organization by people saying, well, that's not scalable. Like, you should just be doing just videos. You should be doing, and that's when I came back and said, there's scalable and then there's careable. You know, you have the greatest impact through the greatest caring. And maybe that's not scalable in efficiency's sake, but there's a reason we are the most impactful organization for small business profitability in the globe. Like, there's a reason we're number one. And it became a great conversation around just efficiency for efficiency's sake is not a good thing.
No.
And I hope, even if you choose not to explore Profit First Professionals as one of our listeners right now, that you take that message home, that scalable and careable are two different things, and you can have extraordinary impact. And if you so desire, grow sizably by orienting yourself to careability. So think about that. In the link, thanks, Liz, for sharing that. There's two. One is an explanation of why you may want to consider becoming PFP to move to this. We started off the beginning session, you know, are you working more or less? If you are working more in the season right now, you may be missing out on these high value clients. And this may be the transition to actually reduce the work demand, but increase the impact you're having, which means increases your value and the return to yourself. If you are dependent upon clients getting information to you, that means you're in a commoditized business. That means they're the ones who are saying, not yet. You wait for me. But in a high value, high trust scenario, there's equality. So if you are having clients dictating when you can work, that does not show any equal balance, but high value trusted advisors do. So that may be another indicator. This is something to explore. I invite you again to click on the links to why to become a PFP, but then you can simply apply. There is no obligation. We do ask for a deposit. Why? Because people apply regularly, but aren't sincere about it. We ask for a fully refundable deposit. If it's not a fit, you don't want to pursue this, or we feel that you're not fit for our organization, we return the funds to you immediately. But honestly, it just shows that, yeah, you're serious about this. So it's been a great mechanism to have great conversations. And yeah, you'll be part of a community. The last thing I want to share, Liz, before I throw it back to you, is our community is extraordinary. I myself am touched by stories of transformation. One person just called 2 days ago, I'll start well up here, who started off with a $45,000 annual revenue business, has grown it to millions as a Profit First professional, and is now in the process of selling the business. And they got the biggest offer that will set them for life. And I'm getting emotional now because that was the dream of this person. And her story is extraordinary, but it's not atypical if you move to this role. So I invite you to join PFP and would love to get to know you in person. Liz, any final thoughts you have before we wrap it up?
I mean, I was just going to say that's my favorite stories are watching people win. And so again, scalable, not more careable than scalable. Every day I have the opportunity to share in wins. I mean, the amount of time, I must look like, if someone's just watching me from behind, they may think I'm like a kindergarten teacher because I'm always like, good job. But I mean it. Like, the wins that people have are contagious and exciting. And we're in the business of transformation and celebration. And it's a fun place to be. I'm looking at all my case studies that I have on here. My favorite is from one of our members who joined in 2017. And this will be my last point. And she shared, she called me on my phone, which I don't always give my cell phone out, but you know, I do probably more than I should. But she called, she goes, I just had to tell you something because I just did my numbers. Since I've joined, I have gone up 353, no, in the first full year, she did the first full year. I increased my revenue 353% in the first year of joining. And that subsequent year after that, she's like, it went up 58 to 70% every year after that. What? That's not normal.
And clients are thrilled, right? I mean,
thrilled. And she niched. And so she's now the expert in this area. Like, it's a pleasure.
It's transformational.
Yeah, that's super fun. Last one, Ibrahim had some questions. What are the requirements? You will find out what the requirements are in the website, but bottom line, it's be in business for, at least 2 to 3 years, and don't be a jerk. Those are two of the biggest ones. I mean, we use another word sometimes, but that's truly what it is. We want to get to know you. These calls are with Ron or with myself, and we have some other things. We have some revenue requirements only because we don't want you to suffer. We want to make sure that you are in a headspace financially that you can take your time you have the availability mentally, financially to invest in yourself. And so all of these things we talk about though, and you know, we want to hear from you. So that's it.
In my qualifications, if you're a good person with good intentions to do good upon others who are also good, we're probably in the similar space here. There's probably an opportunity. What I find interesting is the greater and deeper service we provide to someone on impact, the greater their life is transformed, the more they're willing and desirous of serving back through their investment. So if you, this is the general you, struggle to increase prices and stuff like that, it's usually indicating that your customers don't see that value, the impact. They see you as a commodity. You're exchangeable. But when our members have implemented Profit First and lead with that, now you're driving, perhaps for many of their clients, the most valuable and important component, which is permanent profitability. The clients they want to pay a premium for that because that's what they need in serving them. So that's how the model works. Thanks for the kind words. There's a lot of direct comments to the host, Michael Perry, Dottie, all these folks. Katrina, thanks for the kind words and the participation. You have the link right there. Please do click on it now. Let's check it out, see if it's a fit. Again, if it's not a fit, that's totally cool too. We were just wishing, we're both like, hands up, it's okay, it's okay.
It's really, it's okay.
No fight. We're just wishing you huge success in your business. The world needs your success. Go for it.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.